If you feel that you are invisible, that people don't notice you, that you're easily forgotten, it's usually because you're undermining your physique, you're undermining your presence, you're undermining your storytelling, the way that you make people feel. You forget about these things, and that is what usually results in you being easily forgotten. You don't stand out from every typical average guy. Today, gentlemen, I am going to break down the power of presence on how to stop being invisible and get people to notice you. If it's that cute girl that you like, if you just want to have more opportunities, you want a stronger social circle, it usually starts off with your presence, the way that you communicate and express yourself, the way that you dress. That's the easiest way to command more presence, to be more in charge of the people that you want in your life. If you want to draw more attention, more good attention, you can usually do it with these strategies. Couple of things. I have a flight in a couple of hours, but quick rundown. We will have our meetup at the end of this year, leaning towards September or October. Most likely going to be in Colombia. You guys want to come out? I'll start putting that out there. Also, I am doing one-on-one coaching. You can DM me to my Instagram. Just put it up right here. And we can work together. I can get you in the right direction with your image, your style, leveling up your influence. Give me a DM. And jumping straight into it, the invisibility trap. So why nobody notices you. The main thing to think about is your physique. That's point blank, period. Your physique is the first thing that communicates to the outside world, to people. You don't want to be overweight, skinny fat, poor posture, low energy. And you might be starting in one of these positions. I know I did. I was a chubby kid back when I was in high school, a lot up until I was in college. It wasn't until like I almost graduated college. I was like in my early 20s, 23, 24, when I started to put more emphasis and attention to my physique. Started hitting the gym, started training MMA and boxing, and that really helped me just get in shape and get some more muscle mass. It also helped me a lot with my low energy. I had more frame because of the boxing and the MMA. So physique is the starting point. People see your body before they hear your words. A lot of guys overmind this because it's a lot of people think that physique is not important. People think that physique is mostly for health, which it is, but it also commands respect. When you see a guy that's jacked in the gym, you automatically just respect that guy. You know that, you don't want to disrespect them. You want to make sure that you choose your words carefully with a guy that looks dangerous or a guy that's in shape, that he's jacked. So physique is very important. The next thing is style and grooming, guys. A lot of guys don't put too much attention into their grooming. Whenever you see a guy that has poor grooming, or anyone in general that has poor grooming, you don't want to be around them. Like the guy that stinks or the guy that doesn't take care of his BO, of his odor. You don't really want to be around that person. A guy that has like nose hairs coming out, ear hairs. Like you can see that if he doesn't take care of his grooming, he doesn't really care too much about what other people think about him. So this is always just important to stay on top of. Make sure that you're always well groomed. Make sure that you are not wearing outdated clothing. You don't have anything that fits poorly, anything that's too loose or too small on you, too tight. You don't have a bad haircut, like an out of date haircut. Also, that your haircut matches the intention that you're going for. If you're working in a more professional environment, you want to get a more tightened up haircut. If you if you are a fighter, if you are in a more creative environment, then maybe you can grow out your hair. But it's just important to make sure that your hairstyle, your style, clothing, everything is congruent to your goal. You don't want to neglect the grooming part of it. Presence is silent communication. So this comes back to your body language. Don't look down. Make sure that you keep your head up. Don't make weak eye contact, nervous energy, seeking approval, because that easily rubs off on people. So if you're looking down and you already have this weak body language, people are going to treat you accordingly. But if you hold yourself to a higher standard, people will also treat you in that regard, right? They'll treat you with more respect because they can feel that you respect yourself more and you see yourself at a higher standard. Social skills, interesting people get remembered, guys. Remember this: your social skills, how you make people feel. You want to make people feel good about themselves. You want to ask more questions about the person that you're engaging with, whether it's men or women. If you see a cute girl that you like, don't make the conversation too much about you. Make it more about her. Listen to her, see how she's leaning with the conversation. And this usually just makes people feel heard. They feel listened to. And that automatically makes them like you. So social skills is very important. You don't want to fall into boring conversations. No storytelling. Telling stories is very powerful, guys. That's one of the best ways to get remembered. If you have some interesting stories, it can be about anything, your travels, it can be about your training, it can be about things that you're interested in, like music. If you had a concert in the past, you like making videos, whatever it is, just get into the habit of telling better stories. Because when you tell a story, it keeps people engaged and they feel that they can relate to you more. No curiosity. When you lack curiosity, it's like one thing that I noticed a lot of mistakes guys make is that they tell everything on the first date, or they overexpose themselves where there's no more curiosity anymore. You always want to leave curiosity, especially with dating, where you're not completely figured out. You're still like that mysterious guy that women want to figure out, because that just like there's more layers to you than the surface level, and they want to keep going deeper on those layers. It makes you more interesting. Also, fear of rejection can be, don't fear rejection. It's part of life, really. But in anything that you do, you're going to get rejected a couple of times. The best way that I can think about it is when you're learning how to fight, when you're learning how to box. The first couple of months, you're gonna get tagged up. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna hit that by that jab. You're not gonna know how to defend the jab or defend the hook. But surely, slowly but surely, you're going to get better at reading the punches that are coming. You're going to be able to move, and you're going to be able to counter as well. So it's the same thing with anything, with dating, with sales, with business, is that when you're going for an offer, you might get rejected, but it's part of it. Then now you know how to approach it with a better strategy the next time, and then you can land the sale, or you can land the marketing campaign. Same thing with women. If you get rejected by one girl because you said something, now you know for the next time. Next time you make an approach, it will most likely be more successful. So just keep that in mind, that rejection is part of the game and everything, and expect it. Expect that you're going to be faced with some adversity sometimes, and it's just about overcoming it and getting used to it. Lifestyle creates magnetism. So your lifestyle is who you are. It's not, if you don't have any hobbies, if you don't take any adventures, you don't have a social circle where you have buddies that you go out with and do fun shit with on the weekends, or you take trips with, you have that same routine every day, it becomes boring. And that's the last thing that you want to be. You don't want to be boring, because that makes you easily forgotten. So lifestyle is important. This is where the social media part of the equation comes into play, because social media allows you to show off your lifestyle. You can show off the things that you're interested in, hobbies, the trips that you're taking, your friends in your social circle, things that you're learning. If you're learning a new instrument, if you know how to play an instrument, you can post things like that. That's why it's important to have a solid Instagram, a solid social media where you show off your lifestyle, because it is highly effective when it comes to dating. But it's also just a good place to kind of show off your personality. But with dating, it's very important because women have a better idea of what type of man you are. And you also want to cultivate a lifestyle that's fun. Like, ask yourself, if Ask yourself how, like, put yourself in the perspective of a girl that you like and that you want her to be part of your life. Ask, if she were to join my life, will she like it? Like, will she be interested on joining me on these adventures and the things that I'm doing? And that lets you get just a better mental model of what type of content to post. Make sure that you're keeping it fun. Make sure that you look, it's cool. You're doing some cool shit. That's always important. And these are the 5 components, guys. The cost of being invisible, of being easily forgotten, is that you become overlooked by women. Women forget you because you're boring. You're the same guy that they always see. You're the average guy that only has like 50 Instagram followers. He wears the same thing, some jeans, some tennis shoes, and a plain shirt. You become that same boring guy. And that's what you want to avoid. You want to be the guy that is interesting, that he riles up some emotions, right? He's mysterious. He has a cool life and he's doing cool shit. Also, other men or just people in general, your social circle, are going to often overlook you because you don't draw any attention. So you'll develop that weak social circle. This is going to result in lack of confidence because now you don't have a strong social circle. You're not dating is not the best, and you're just going to feel it. Your confidence is going to take a hit. And the advantages of being visible, of like cultivating that aura of visibility, is that you become memorable, you're attractive to women, you're more respected amongst other men, other people, you become more influential. Like, guys look up to guys that are in shape, that are taking care of business, they got their money in order, they have a solid dating life. So people will listen to you more. They see how you are excelling on all these different parts of life, and it becomes easier to lead people. You can become a better leader because of this. And it also just makes it easier to stay connected, right? Because people can relate to you, they can talk to you about your hobbies. If it resonates, you can build rapport, and people are just they're attracted by this type of magnetism. So you can be a great man and still be invisible. So one of my favorite quotes, because even though you have the best intentions, you're a good guy, you do well, if you don't cultivate these categories, these factors here, you still become invisible. You're overlooked because you can be the best guy, but if you're out of shape, you're overweight, it's hard to take a guy like that seriously because he doesn't have the discipline to take care of his body, eat right, hit the gym. If he doesn't take care of his style and grooming, like, this guy doesn't care about his appearance. People automatically, intuitively feel that energy. And when you start to cultivate these factors, you will dramatically notice how more presence you start to develop with women and in life in general. So this is the invisibility trap, guys. This is why a lot of guys are not noticed. They're always overlooked. They're not attracted. They're not attracted to many women because they don't put priority in these factors. But once you start putting that priority in it, it becomes a lot easier to cultivate more presence, more attention, and more attraction. So that is the invisibility trap, gentlemen. Your boy has a flight in a couple hours. I just wanted to hop on here, make this video quick before I take off. And like I said, we have that meeting coming up. Shoot me a DM if you're interested. Also, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, I can help you with that. We can work on your presence, your image, your style, making sure that you're in the right direction. If you want more dates, if you want more respect, whatever it is, we can get you in the right path. As always, stay fresh and stay confident. I'll catch you all in the next video.